Okay. We're good?
We're good, I think.
Okay. Ready? Una, dos, tres.
Welcome to Why Mommy Podcast, episode number 4.
I thought it was 3, but here we are.
Yeah.
Number 4.
3 was in Spanish, so
Mhm.
it feels like a little, like we skipped over a little for our English audience, I guess.
Yeah. Also, it was the holidays, or is the holidays right now, and I feel like everything's just been
Yeah.
so
Hard
crazy.
to keep up with.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for being patient. And we were shooting for every week. We really were, but
Everywhere.
motherhood? Can we blame it on that?
Everything, yeah.
Workhood?
Mm-hmm.
Lifehood?
But I think we're in a good streak for every other week, so
Yeah.
you can expect us every other week.
Yeah, for sure it's going to be every other week the most. I don't think we'll go 2 weeks.
You mean the most you won't see us.
Right.
The most we'll deliver is every other week. Don't get crazy.
Whoa. Every day?
Every day, every week.
So since last week was like a little, not heavy, but just like a little more serious, a little more serious, I guess. Yeah. We wanted to keep this one like fun and light, and to be honest, we just like wanted a reason to talk smack. Just because we've been seeing a lot of stuff going on, especially for the holidays. And this is a conversation that we always have. I feel like every woman ever with her group of friends is always this
We
comes up.
hope it's light and fun and not us getting canceled because we're about to speak our truth.
Who's truth? I'm not the internet.
Okay.
So I wanted to start off with, am I the asshole? I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this before. People pretty much send in their stories and they tell us their situation, and then we're gonna decide, is this person the asshole or not? Or, we're just gonna criticize someone's little life right now. So I wanted to keep it in the holiday spirit, and I feel like this is something that we could all relate to, especially if you have a partner, a spouse, or you're in a relationship. Let me pull this up.
And I haven't heard it, so that's why I'm so attentive. I'm like, okay.
What is this?
What is it?
Okay.
What do I think?
You guys are gonna... I wonder, do I have a hot topic on this one? Because I feel like this is gonna be... We're all gonna know the answer to this. Okay. Here we go. So I, 45 female, have been with my boyfriend, 48 male, for 5 years, and every year I do a stocking for him. He has never once put anything in mine. Also, pause. Do you do stockings?
Not traditionally, but I have tried to start that. So I bought my sister's stockings, and I tried it last year. This year I failed. So, but it's something that I want to do because it is cute.
It's super cute. I in my family, we have never done stockings.
I think it's an American thing.
I think it is an American thing.
Yeah.
And you see them like in the movies and stuff, and they look so
and they're
pretty.
cute. Yeah. They're good decor, and then it's just cute to get little fun
and
stuff.
you have a chimney, and I have a chimney, and that's why, like, se ve bonito. But, okay, anyway, sorry. I figured it's just not something he did, and while kind of disappointed, stockings are my favorite part. I never said anything. This year, to avoid watching him go through his overstuffed stocking while I had nothing in mine, I suggested that we just hang the stockings as decorations. I would have been fine with this, yet my boyfriend insisted that we do the stockings. I was so excited. He had never done a stocking for me, and I couldn't wait to see what goodies he's gonna come up with for me. I obviously wasn't expecting anything big, but when I was growing up, fun stuff always went in the stockings. Candy, little games, etc. So I went about getting stuff for his stocking, even special ordering an ornament that I knew he'd love. Ornaments, that's another thing that I don't really do. Okay, so stocking was overflowing, but when Christmas morning came, mine was empty. Out of embarrassment, he ended up sticking one of my Christmas gifts in there along with a bottle of limoncello that he had bought me when I was with him. I was heartbroken. Let me be clear, it had nothing to do with the actual stuff that was in my stocking. It's that he had never been thoughtful enough to put anything in my stocking, and this year he insisted that we fill them, only not to fill mine. I confronted him about it and let him know that it hurt my feelings and he can't ever make the effort to put it a handwritten note or a piece of candy in my stocking as his excuse was that he just forgot. Am I the asshole for saying anything?
It's just all kinds of weird. Like,
You've been
no,
together
the answer
5
is no.
years.
He's an asshole.
He's such an asshole.
But, like, why would you go about your way and say, like, no, let's do stockings and then not do anything?
Dude.
Like, that part is just so annoying.
Because he wanted stuff in his.
Yeah, but, like, then you would... Why wouldn't you just agree to, like, a regular present? And that's my other question. Was there a regular present?
From what it sounds like, he got one of the regular presents, put it in the stocking. So I don't know if there was extra presents or not, but he took one of her presents and was like, oh shit, let me put it in the stocking.
Oh, I thought he took one of her presents that she put in his stocking to put in her stocking. So I was like, dang, this guy is out of control. That makes more sense. It was just like a separate...
Yeah. So
but he never put effort into the stocking, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just... I just hate when men don't think. Which happens often.
So,
and then it's just so annoying because because again, it really is not like the I want an expensive gift or like it really is just you taking the time to think about me, to like make me feel special just like I have, especially if I've done it for so many years. And maybe, you know what, like maybe the first times that I did it, and if you didn't fill mine up, I would just think that if she never said anything, like he just didn't know that that was a thing. Because honestly, like I don't know what the situation is that everybody's home, but at my house, Christmas is on me.
Yeah.
Decorating, putting up, like if I don't say anything about putting up lights, putting out the Christmas tree, like decorating our presents, my husband would do nothing. There would be no lights, no Christmas tree. My presents would not be wrapped, probably. Like, he wouldn't care. He would just be like, I got presents. That's good enough.
Omar literally fought me last year because he didn't want to put up the Christmas tree because I don't even remember. It was like too early. It was like after Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, it's coming up. Can you go get it? Because it was like in the shed or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. No, todavía no. Like putting it off. And I had to go to Home Depot and buy a Christmas tree. Because I'm like, I'm getting a Christmas tree. Yeah. And it's just, they don't, like, care.
So similarly, last year when I did try to do stockings, like, it was me. It was my idea. It was on me. So I'm the one that filled it up for people. So I wasn't expecting him to go and, like, do something, right? But, like, if it's been so many years and it's just you and me, like, there's two stockings.
There's an edit. There's an edit right here. I know he's capable because he bends over backwards to get thoughtful gifts for his grown children. But for me, he always waits until the last minute and then gets me the cheapest version of the things that I want. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I know he doesn't have to do anything, but I guess I just wish it was more important. Like, I felt more important.
Yeah. Yeah. Just break up, girl. That's your boyfriend. You're 45. Out. I'm sorry, but, like... No. If I'm 45 and I have a boyfriend and he's not up to par, bye. It's like the first year, not 5 years.
45 with a boyfriend sounds awful.
It just sounds awful. With a boyfriend that you're still trying to influence and like make the way that you want. Like if I'm having a boyfriend at 45, it's because he is what I want.
Right.
Not someone that I can make into what I want.
A grown man.
Yeah, it's different when you're young and you're growing up and like men need a lot of time to mature. Mm-hmm. But like you're 45 and you still act like this, goodbye.
With a stocking.
Yeah, with a stocking. If you're like the most simple thing.
Imagine everything else.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. Anyway, so I think we could all agree with that one, but it was a little bit of the holiday spirit. I was trying to play like devil's advocate, you know, for him, and I'm like, okay, in my head, what would make, like, oh, he's really busy, or, but it was the thing of him being like, no, like, let's do it this year.
Yeah, like him asking to do it, and her, like, mentioning he does it for other people. Makes it even worse. Because then there's people that really, like, just, they are not good at giving gifts.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, yes.
Or they just don't think ahead of time, or, you know, it just doesn't come from them. Like, they have to have a reason.
Right.
So, but if he is thoughtful towards other people, then I would certainly feel some kind of way. Like, why clearly I'm not a priority.
For sure.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, if I'm your 45-year-old girlfriend and I'm not your priority, like, what's the point?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Because it sounded like it's not their children, it's his children.
Yeah.
They're older, they're moved out. Great, which, like, I would say, especially now that I'm a mom, right? Like, obviously, if I were to get with someone who already has kids, I would want to know that they are a good dad.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a problem. Like, I would love for him to be thoughtful with his kids, but I would expect something similar.
Especially because they're adults, it's like, okay, pues they're doing their own thing. Like, you could focus a little bit more attention on me.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. I feel like stocking gifts we don't, like I said, we don't really do them, but it doesn't sound that hard. Like,
it really is not. A lipstick.
All of the makeup things.
Yeah.
All of them are in travel
perfumes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Candy. Anything.
Yeah.
If you give me my favorite chocolate, I am happy.
Yeah.
So.
No, I am. A sweets person. Karen has always been a whole tub of ice cream.
Bring me ice cream and chocolate and like a flower, and I'm like, yes, you thought of me. Like, it really is not the expensive thing. True. But here's the thing: don't bring me like freaking, I don't know, rum raisin ice cream, which I don't eat. Because that would piss me off. I'd rather you don't bring me anything than bring me something I want to eat. That's
like
me.
For you, like signifies you and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Well, this was gonna kind of lead into our topic of today's episode, which is, I wish we could do like a freaking like the SpongeBob like letters. Men. Men versus women. But not really versus, like
not like in a fighting way.
Yeah. But more like these roles that we're assigned in this society that we live in.
We're more so thinking gender roles and more like very specific female versus male roles in a relationship. Yeah. Whether it's a husband and a wife, we're gonna get into the differences or just a girlfriend, dating, all that stuff.
And we asked the group chat today, and let me tell you,
it was on fire. They all want to come to the podcast and talk about it.
Which I feel like we should. We just need a bigger crunch. So I think that we asked what these gender roles that are assigned to us, like, you know, what are the basic ones that we think of? Like, my first thing is like, who pays for dinner? You go out to eat. Estás in a little fancy restaurant. The guy, I assume that the guy invites you out, but even that now is like so different, I guess. Yeah. Also, we haven't dated in a while, but
in a long time.
From what it sounds like, it's complicated and different. And so even just the little things like that, like we asked that in the group chat, like, you know, who should pay for a date? And even our friends were like, well, it depends. And I personally feel like it shouldn't be it depends. And maybe that's like our old school traditional machista.
That's what I was gonna say. I think today we're gonna stick to what are our opinions. Yes. We can probably have a follow-up with our friends and our, you know, and other people, and I think this conversation can also become generational. Like, what were we taught? What were our parents taught? What are, you know, the singles right now in their 20s? Yeah. What are they doing? What does dating look like?
We're also in our
20s. Yeah, we are. So also for us, though, like, we've been in a serious relationship for a really long time. Yeah. So the last time I dated anyone different was so long ago, right? As you were saying, but I think we're just going to stick to what we believe and how we handled things at the time. And then there's conversations about what we do now and what we think. There's also the aspect that we are Mexican, right? And so we also had questions about that. Like, how is that different for people who are American? Yeah. Like, born and raised by Americans and American ideologies. So starting with that topic, which was like the first thing that came to mind when we were like, okay, let's do what we believe about gender roles. I think if you are inviting me on a date, you should pay for me. Yeah. I'm always going to have enough money to pay for me and even for your meal. Yeah. One, because it might turn out that I get there and you want to split the bill, which has happened to me.
¿Qué pasa? That is
Every
so
other, like, those are my
embarrassing.
only two experiences are going out with someone who is white and someone who is black, and they totally thought that we were going on a date because you know, at first it was one of those like kind of awkward, like, I don't know, like, did he, like I think you like me, like, and then it was obvious. I mean, it was a dinner, like, it wasn't anything that could have been just like a casual hangout. It was more like formal.
Also, I feel like when it is a casual hangout, it's a totally different vibe. If you're even thinking about like, is it, isn't it? It probably is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's friends, it's more like.
But here's the thing. Now, what I always tell people is, if we're splitting the bill, it's a friend outing.
Oh yeah, there's
like,
not a date.
This is no longer a date.
Yeah,
I will no longer pursue you in a way of a potential
1,000%
boyfriend.
Are we toxic?
I don't know, but that's just the reality for me. I am not willing to do that, and it doesn't mean that I wouldn't do it down the line, like once our relationship gets more serious, or like pay for dinner myself every now and then. But like, if it's the first time that you're taking me out and you didn't plan to pay for me, like, that just takes away so much of the enchantment that like I don't want to find out.
Okay, so how do you feel about the people, men mostly, that say like, oh, that's like gold digging, you know, like, oh, you want me to take you out because you just like want a free meal and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true that there's women out there that go out for a free meal, like just for the fun of it and whatnot, and like that's up to the guy again, like if he wants to pay, right? And I think it's not that. It's just, to me, is la caballerosidad, which I can never say that word in English. Chivalry?
Oh, the chivalry.
I don't know how to say it. My Mexican is
that's why I refer to her.
Literally, I can never say it in English, but it's that for me. Yeah. It's not so much the, you know, like you have to have money and be able to afford me kind of thing. It's just, again, the thought. Like, you plan for it. I'm always going to offer because I do think that that is the kind thing to do than assume. Because twice out of the 100 dates that I had to split it.
I had to split too, and honestly, it's kind of.
What did you split with?
También, some white boy. And it's just like, what are we doing? Hey, bro. Like, what is this?
Oh, I'm paying half? Oh, we're friends? Like, it's like, oh, you're friend zoning me.
Yeah, no, but low-key,
you're friend zoning yourself is how I think of it. But in reality, I'm like, without you knowing, like, you just, it's like,
it's because it
splitting the check
the vibe.
Is opening the portal to the friend zone.
Period. It's actually putting you directly in the middle of the friend zone.
Go for it, my friend.
Just move along. And what? Okay, but why do you think that is? Like,
because I'm not excited to date you anymore. Because you didn't even like take the time to do that. It's very rare that you're going on a first date somewhere like mad expensive. Right. It's gonna be something casual, easy, right? Like that's not. It's gonna get you super nervous. And so if you can't afford $20 for me, it's not the affordability of like you don't have money. It's the fact that you didn't plan for it. You didn't think about it. You didn't. Like, you couldn't spend $20 to make me feel special. Yeah.
Well, although I will say, like, now I feel like it's a little different. That was when we were dating. But now, como que, I just say this because, like, I have my younger brother and I ask him about his stories and stuff. And he's like, bro, these girls now, like, they don't care to go to freaking Chili's on the street. Like, they want to go to the fancy, super fancy restaurants with the like really aesthetic
Well, there was that one TikTok that was going around with like the list of places not to take women for the first date. I don't even remember, but
okay. 99% of those places, I was like, I would go there in a freaking heartbeat.
I don't understand if it was sarcastic
or
not.
Red Lobster?
Was it not real?
Was
it real or not real?
It was very real. No, it was super real. Some of them were like, I think one of them was like
okay, don't take me to McDonald's.
Okay, no. But even then, I'm like, depende.
But you know why? Because I don't like it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's different. Take me to McDonald's, girl. Big Mac any day. But like, A lot of the ones, por eso te digo, that were on there was like Olive Garden. And I'm like, were we just cheap? Or what's happening? Red Lobster was on there, which to this day I would love to. Like Chili's was on there.
Yeah.
What other ones? Like a coffee date that wasn't like appropriate. And
That's
like,
super cute.
It's so cute. So I'm like, what?
I wish
what
my
do you guys
husband would take me on a coffee date.
Wouldn't it be nice? I'm dead. No, but yeah, that paying for on the first date.
Yeah.
It should be the guy. Guys, come on.
Just
just
do it. And if you want a friend, just say so. Don't
Just
take her
say,
out.
hey.
Don't make her get dressed, all excited,
You know what would
all
be
to
the
find
worst?
out that it's a friend.
It would be like, can you mark down the things that you got?
Oh my
Not
god!
even split. It would be like,
If someone didn't even split down the middle, I would
got
just
water and a
pay.
salad. I would be like,
I would
Cindy,
pay.
I got you.
I swear I would pay.
Qué vergüenza.
I would say no, take my card, and I would leave, and I would take an Uber because you're not driving me home,
I don't think I'd let anybody pick me up nowadays.
and I would
period.
block you. Like, bye. I don't even need those kind of friends. Like, if you're that stingy, I can't handle it.
Honestly, we're not that type of friend group either.
That's another conversation.
I
Like,
know.
ugh, cringe.
que,
No.
You've seen the TikTok videos, right? Of like, went out for my friend's birthday dinner and it's like a $3,000 bill and everybody's fighting like, no, I only had a Coke and a side salad, and then the other one's like,
Also,
I
you
had a
gotta
total
know your friends.
That part.
Yeah, just decline. Like, if your friend is expensive and you can't afford it, just decline the party.
Honestly, it is kind of on you to like know, hey, I can or can't afford this. Like, if I know that when I go out with Cardinale, I'm gonna have to be part of a pitcher margarita, and I don't have pitcher margarita money,
I must stay home. I don't know. It's just a lot.
Okay, I wanted to get into this because I feel like it's very popular right now, this conversation of masculine versus feminine energy and how they get like, what's the word? Like intercambiados.
Okay, interchanged.
Ándale.
Interchanged.
Between the men and the women in the relationship.
Okay.
So a lot of women have been saying that in their partnerships, they have to be the one. They're not living in their feminine energy because they have to have los pantalones in the relationship. Like they have to carry the household. They're like literally head of
They
household.
have to do what is known as a male gender role.
Right.
My thing is, I do hear that a lot right now, and I feel like I've heard it from a lot of young couples, and I think that this is that generational thing where like people are playing with fire in terms of like wanting to be all inclusive and equitable and like there's no gender roles and like I don't mind if we split it and I don't. Yes, you can be nice like I said, but I think you have to be really careful with that, and you really have to be sure that you are okay with being completely equal.
Yeah.
And that means, I think that even means like equally feminine and equally masculine.
No.
And that's not realistic when you are in a male-female relationship.
Yeah.
So like we're talking specifically traditionally male-female relationship.
Yeah.
And you want to be very open about being okay with things changing. And like, I think that requires a lot of conversation.
It's making...
You can't just assume.
It's making... This is gonna sound so dumb. I'm gonna get so much crap for this, but it's making, in my eyes, men a lot less manly and women
a lot less feminine.
Yeah, like more manly or a lot less feminine because everything's so like, que sí, que no. I personally, for me, my opinion, I feel like there has to be
balance.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's how do I explain this? Like
try to explain.
Like here we go. It's just some things, in my opinion, are for a man to do around the house. Even let's keep it to around the house, or even for a household. Actually, your role as a man, in my opinion, is to protect your family, and that means like security, to provide security for your family. And I'm not talking about like just financial or, you know, like it's everything. It's like emotional, it's financial, it's stability. It's for you to be able to feel secure and not like, oh my God, someone's going to pull out the rug from under me and my kids. You know what I mean? And your job as a woman is to like, Omar and I have this conversation all the time, it's to make your house into a home. You know, it's to provide that warmth and that like love and the hominess.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's how I see it. And sometimes when we get into this whole like, no, I'm independent and I don't need a man and I could do it all myself.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's not black and white.
It's not.
And people want it to be black and white, or people want it to not be. Like, people want it to be so gray that it feels, right, like equitable and like, oh, we're not traditional and it's not what society is imposing on us.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's all bad because we have roles. I don't think it's that way. I think, like, again, there needs to be balance, and you both can't be, we were talking about, I was just going to say, you both can't be leading, right? Because, like, leading means someone is taking that, right? Like someone has to follow. It doesn't have to be all the time. It doesn't mean that the female leads all the time or the male. Like there's different aspects, and you have different skills and different just talents and things that you're good at, things that you were taught because you are a woman, things that you were taught because you are a man. And that, like, if you are in, again, like a relationship where you are seen as the traditional male, like your female is going to expect certain things and vice versa.
Period.
The other day we were saying how there can't be two alphas.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible. Like, I can be an alpha woman and he can be an alpha male.
Yeah.
Yes. But we have to, like, in a situation, someone needs to lead. You can't both be, like, co-leading can happen, but it's not realistic when it comes to, I don't know how to explain it.
Because it could happen with your roles, like co-leading to your, like if you stay in your own lane.
Yeah, like you both can obviously make decisions and come together.
Absolutely.
But there's a certain aspect of each thing that you are the end all be all of.
Yes. For example,
That's
children.
So hard to explain.
For example, with the children.
Yeah.
You could have whatever opinion you want. At the end of the day,
I'm gonna take them to a school I want to take them.
Period. Guess who's making the actual life decisions? Like, it sounds fucked up, but usually that's like the, what do they call it?
I would say that my husband would defer to me.
Default parent. That's what it is.
Like, we could both be talking about it like, hey, I think I'm going to take them to these schools. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we haven't discussed this. This is new to us. We're not going to have to actually discuss it for the next 3 years. No, but when it is time for them, we haven't. Like, where are we going to send them? What's going to happen? I'm assuming, and I'm going to have to ask, but I assume that whatever I say in terms of like, hey, we're going to enroll them here, he's just going to be like, okay, sounds great. And see, because he's going to trust me with that decision, and because that's something that I'm the owner of. Right,
and that's the thing, that we are not saying, or I don't know if I know you think the same way, but I'm not saying like, oh, one of us has to be in charge and the other one has to shut up and like, only one person can make decisions. Absolutely not. The whole point of a relationship is to be a team, right? Like, both opinions matter. Like, you have to respect both decisions. It's not just, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want and good luck. Yeah. Like, in order to be in a good, healthy, respectful relationship is having those conversations, but at the end of the day, someone's going to have to make a decision.
And in order to have a long-lasting relationship, compromise needs to exist.
1,000%. And I feel like that's one of those things that a lot of people just don't know
understand.
How to do. Like, they're just like, no, it's my way or the highway. And also, agarran la excusa of like, no, it's because he didn't like that I was like this, or she didn't like that I did this, and so I'm not going to change for a woman, or I'm not going to change for a man. It's like, it's not about changing. It's about growing up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And sometimes you do stick to your things, and you're like, it's my way or the highway. Yeah. But at some point, you're going to have to compromise, and that's what makes a relationship last.
And be 90-year-olds old, and shout out.
Yeah. But back to the original men versus women, like we were just on the basis of around the house. I think there are just some things that, again, I don't know if it's, I mean, I do think it's my upbringing, but it's also like, things that throughout time, I just feel like that balance allows you to keep going, to not overstress, to not hold resentment, to, right? So just something as basic as a household together. Mm-hmm. I expect the man to mow the lawn. It doesn't mean that I can't learn and do it when necessary. Like when my husband is out of town, out of months, I still don't do it. But I will call my dad and get it done.
Another
right?
Man. There you go.
Yeah. I could learn and do it. I'm not saying like, oh, women should never do it, right? But I know when it's my time to do the lift, I'll take care of it. Whether it's with my own hands or I pay someone else to use their hands. But I'll take care of it, right? I expect him to take out the trash. I will bag up the trash and take it outside if necessary, whatever. Like, I'm not going to just like be waiting like, the trash is full, you got to pull it out, right?
Pause. Like, I will wait. I will wait until we both die from overflowing trash. It's one thing that it's like my pet peeve of like...
Yeah. I get it, and I've seen it. A lot of women have it, and we, like, my husband and I fought over it for so long in terms of taking it out, like putting it out to be taking be taken out.
Oh no, I'll pull it out but I'm not pulling it out.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'm not gonna pull it out of the trash can, or I will pull it out of the trash can.
No, it's gross.
But you have to roll it out. Like that's your responsibility.
Yeah. Opposite here,
but
I hate it, like to the point where I had to have a conversation with him. I think it was like a month ago where I'm like, okay, whose responsibility is it to do this? Y sabes por qué? Actually, this is the root of the problem, is that because of those gender roles that I legit am like, that does not belong to me. Yeah. It is not my responsibility to do that. And after we had this conversation, he was like, well, it's like a household thing. Like, you're fine to do it too. And I'm like, okay, if I know that you, in your head, it's not like, oh, it's mine, I need to do it, it's ours, fine, I'll do it. Yeah. Pero I was aferrada in my idea of like, no, it's your responsibility, you need to do it.
To me, it's not the like, the trash is the man's. It is that like, the way that we split the household responsibilities are based on gender roles. My thing is like, his household chores lift is so little that it pisses me off that the trash can't be taken out and the lawn can't be mowed and that's literally all I expect you to do. Clean up after our big dog, give him a bath once in a while. So it's like three things that you have to take care of as compared to everything that I have to do, and I'm doing it constantly all the time, like every day. So you have to take out the trash once a week. So you have to mow the lawn once a week. You bathe the dog maybe once a month after I beg you. Like, so the fact that like when that doesn't get done, it's so annoying because it's such a small lift from everything else that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, because you're like, I did my 22 items yesterday.
I cooked. I did groceries. I cleaned the dishes. I vacuumed. I had to. You've never had to clean the curtains, like dust. Like you don't even know if we have a duster. Like things that happen every single day. And so that was my annoyance when things didn't get done, is that it's so little. But it goes back to the households that are very equal, where they split all the chores. They probably never fight about this.
I'm more on this side, like Karen is on that side, but this also I feel like ties into our upbringing. Because I feel like you came from a very traditional family, where your dad goes to work. Your sisters, your mom is like home. You guys are expected to like take care of the house, like with those 22 things I just said. You know, she cooks, like
and my mom did work growing up when we moved to the US, but it was still like I grew up knowing that like her role was to do that. Right. And it doesn't mean that. So here's the other thing though. It doesn't mean that I can't help out every once in a while, and that he can't do it either. Like he'll wash dishes. It's just that like overall, after like, for example, the big holiday parties, like I don't expect him to stay up and clean everything. I know I expect myself to take care of it. Yeah. Like if he wants to help, great, but the expectation is I'm gonna take care of it.
But like you and your reality, you know that it's gonna be And,
I'm not expecting him to do
right.
it.
And since I was like single mom, independent, like totally different, because she had to work all the time, so it was kind of like everyone for themselves. Omar and I are kind of like that, which is actually really weird because he comes from a super traditional family too, but maybe he just changed because he saw that I wasn't changing. Yeah. But I was like, I also work a 9 to 5. Like, I also come home and I'm freaking exhausted. And you also live here and we both, you know, ate, or we both ensuciamos las sheets, and we both, like, we're both living here. So why do I get to take on all these things when I'm doing just as much as you are? Like, I just was more of like a, hell no, I'm not signing up for it. Like, it's just not my vibe. And it is very different because he, even right now, helps me so much, like so much. And I'm lucky because I work from home and I stay at home. So I know that my role for sure is way more like home based, you know, because I'm like, okay, he's out. I do need to take care of the house. Yeah. But when we were doing the 9 to 5, it was more like, okay, no, we could split things a little more evenly. Now, of course, I feel like it's my responsibility more, but I don't know. I just feel like the generational things, like, antes, of course, the woman would be expected to do all these things because she was home and she was taking care of the kids. But now, like
and everything was paid for.
Yeah, like now you need the 2 incomes to even keep up with the household. Yeah. Nowadays, so we need to like move with the times.
Yeah. That's true. Sure. Like there's some things, again, it's not black and white that you have to adjust. But going back to, like, I have had people be in situations, again, where you are, like, splitting the cost and splitting the chores, and, like, you're fighting over, like, hey, we're half and half, but you're not putting up, like, your half of the labor work. You're, like, bringing the money, but not this or that. And then I would say, because obviously I'm closer to women who express it than men, like, the women end up feeling like they're doing too much and they're putting out too much masculine energy. Yep. And I just saw someone, and I wish, you know, I didn't save it, but I saw someone say on TikTok, obviously, because I am a TikTok crackhead. Women wanting you to pay for them is not them being gold diggers, but them asking to stay in their feminine energy. Yeah. But you guys aren't ready to talk about that.
You're not ready to talk about that. Because everything... Also, can we just talk about these men that actually call women gold diggers are like... Sir, you are the one with the least amount of gold
to dig.
Ever.
I feel like rich men don't even worry about that.
I know. They don't have time.
They don't have time. They got enough money. They don't gotta worry.
Here you go, baby.
So why are you worried? Like, honestly, truly.
I can't with that. Yeah, I don't know. This masculine feminine thing, I think it's, my personal opinion, I think it is true. Yeah. I think it is so much easier for you to, as a woman, to live in that feminine energy when you know you're like taken care of, like I said again, not just financially, but like, you know, like a man who loves you and who cares about you and who's like wondering how you're doing, and like you're not worried about having to take on the whole world by yourself. Like you have your man. Yeah. To like lean back on, to fall back on, you know? Yeah. And that's one thing that I always said about relationships is just, I feel like we always wanted, especially when you're younger, you think that like true love or like the real love is like that passion and the ups and the downs and everything. So like 10, you know, like you fight and it's like, oh my God, and you're happy and it's, oh my God, and everything is so explosive. But honestly, it's the peace that you need to be looking for. It's like, where do you feel comfortable? Where do you feel safe? Where do you feel like, okay, I could breathe. Like I could chill, I could handle, like I could take care of the household and be in my feminine energy.
Yeah, and it's like, where do you feel like you're in your place that you're supposed to be versus like always trying to negotiate your space. Yeah. Like, hey, like how about this time you like, no, like I know what my role is and you're gonna put up with your side of, you know, what it is, whether it's equal or like I live more here and you live more there, but like where you can feel like you know what your role is actually like really nice and also comfortable.
Men love doing manly shit. Like a man's man is gonna love doing like feeling like you need him. You know what I mean? Like,
this is where I would love to interview some men. We're gonna go based off of our assumptions, but that is what I get too.
That's
I feel like
my husband is like, when I tell him like, hey,
they
I can't do
get a high off of feeling like they're protective and they're needed and they, you know, they take the lead in certain things. And
like, if I need a light bulb change, I know how to do it. Obviously, am I gonna do it? No, because I have a man who could do it.
So actually, I wanted to circle back to something that you said earlier, because I'm the opposite. Because I'm very independent.
Yeah.
And I think that here's the thing with the balance where like things are not black and white. Like I'm very independent and it's always been my priority to ensure that my husband knows that I'm very independent. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like I feel like it's more romantic to want to need someone and to allow them to take care of you because you want that,
right?
Versus because you need it.
I don't need you. I want you. I choose.
I want you to do this with me, right? Yeah. Like I'm staying because I want you, not because I need you. Because you know, then like that's the reason a lot of women stay around and they're unhappy because they actually need the man to be able to survive financially, to be able to keep up with things because they never learned how to work, because they never learned how to drive. Obviously, this isn't us coming now in our generation, but it still is true for women out there that like are sticking around because they never learned how to do certain things on their own. And to me, that's sad. Like to me, it's more romantic to be like, hey, I want to need you. Like I'm giving you this space, but in reality, if I want to do stuff on my own, I can do it all by myself.
And let me be really clear. I am 1000% with you. Like, I could do all those things. I just choose to, like,
accept this or that.
I am independent to myself.
The fire alarm is on.
Damn, that's crazy. I wonder how long that's going to go on. And, you know, for me, like, it is something that I just, like, keep to myself now. Because I'm just, like, I will do it if I need to do it, obviously. And I know that I am capable. But it is really nice to just be able to let the man handle stuff.
Yeah. Now, something that I was like, what else did we have on here? We put on here, you know, that debate of when women earn more money, men feel insecure. And I feel like that's something, again, that comes from that, like, toxic society expectation of the man was going to provide, so he should make more money. So, like, I feel like they're, you know, what do you call it?
Masculinity?
Yeah, like their masculinity expectation of what, like, you know, being told that they should be providers, like, gets in the way when their women does earn more. And it's something that like men have to be conscious about. I think that your average man is going to stop and think about it. They're not just gonna be like, oh yay, she makes more than me. Congrats, like woohoo, like yes, I've always wanted this. Like they might congratulate you, that'd be great. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, I'm pretty sure my husband would feel that way.
Absolutely.
He's actually expressed, maybe, like, if this is coming out, it's because I asked him for permission to say this, but
Compromise.
Yeah, I got a new job, a new position earlier this year, and I got a significant pay raise, and it's close to what he makes, and he made that, he was like, yeah, like, I'm so happy for you, like, truly, and he's always told me that he wants me to go back to school, he wants me to get a doctorate, because he always wants me to do more and be more, and he's like, you can go, like, I don't know why you don't go back to school, because I always say I want to go back to school, but I'm not ready yet. I'm gonna go when I'm ready, and I'm not ready yet. So, but to him, it's like, why don't you just do it? Like, go and earn more money, and like, have a better title, and like, all these things, because he's very so like easy. That. But then, and he totally was like, oh, yay, like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, babe. But then he was like, I'm gonna have to get another job, because you're making almost as much as me.
And I bet he didn't even think he was saying it. It's just something that's like built into
him, where system. He's like you know I need to make more if we ever need.
It's that men's ego is like so drilled in their brains.
I think it's ego, and then it's also that like the pressure that like even if we do split the cost of our household, at the end of the day, if everything goes to hell. In terms of like, if for some reason we were ever to get evicted from our home, who's gonna look like the failure? Yeah. Even if we both were putting up with the house and paying our bills half and half, we both contribute, we both got the house together, like all that. Like, if we were ever to get evicted and be on the streets, he's gonna look like the failure. No pudo con su familia.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with like kids and their moms. It's like when there's crappy kids, shitty kids.
The mom's the shitty mom.
The mom's the shitty mom. It's like
it's not like el papá esto el otro. Like never. It's the mom's responsibility to make the default
parent. Yeah. I feel like every man every normal man ever is gonna have that. Even if they're like really, modern and and just
in the back of their head. Because it is a societal expectation.
Yeah.
Especially in the Mexican society.
Oh my God, no se diga. Do we even know any men that
don't see it that way, or what?
Well, that make less than their women, and they're like, yay. Wait, okay, this is gonna sound super toxic of me, but even me, when I just said that, I was like, oh, that sounds like a bum-ass dude. No.
I'm so rude. I feel like I wouldn't care if I made more than my husband. What would bug me is if I knew he could do more and he wasn't doing more.
Mediocre.
Like, if the reason that I made more was because he had a part-time and that was good enough to pay the bills, and he's like, I can just work part-time, so why do I have to work for full-time?
It's the lack of ambition.
And the lack of ambition is such a turn-off for me.
It is same. It's like if you're willing to settle, like if you're one of those people that are like...
I don't know if it's an earth sign thing because she's a Taurus and I'm a Capricorn. Yeah. For me, money. For sure.
Insert bills.
No, yo no soy interesada.
No.
I'm actually very frugal. Like, I don't care about super expensive things, about materialistic things. Yeah. To me, it's the security. Yeah. Like, if I know I can do more and I can get more, I'm going to do more to get more.
Right. And if you're one of those people, damn, I'm so toxic. That just sits there because you're like, oh, I got enough money for the rent, for the rest of the rent this month, and maybe a couple outings, I'm good. It's just not... It's that lack of motivation is what it is. Yeah. Like, you're not motivated.
But some people really are like that and they're comfortable. And to each their own. I mean, we're just talking about our own experience. This is my young fly here, but go get and find your otra cara del
Siempre hay un roto para un descosido. Lola. What was the other one that we were talking about that was kind of hot topic-y?
Oh, I know one thing that I said that I was like, ugh. I believe that men care about being comfortable and women care about being happy. And that brings a lot of headbutting in relationships.
Define comfortable.
I think for a man, have things being good are good enough.
Like stable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And women come off to men as like, you're always complaining, you always want more, you're never happy, because we're always looking to be happy, not just good. Like, yes, I can have a good job and a good house and we're healthy, but if that's all, I'm not happy.
It's not enough.
I want to be happy. I want us to go out. I want us to enjoy it. I want us to travel. I want us to, do things and be happy. And men are very okay with I have a good job, I was able to buy the car that I wanted, we have a nice house, this is good enough. Why do we need to go about our way? And
1000% I agree with you, because it has been a topic of a lot of our conversations for sure, mine and my husband's, because explaining to them, because I feel like they're so engraved, they're okay, if my car is paid off, if my house is paid off, I'm providing for my family, that's enough. You have a roof over your head, you have food on the table.
We're healthy.
We're healthy, todo está bien, right? And no, and you're just yeah,
Like, I want to be happy. I want to be excited. I want to look forward to things. I want to have plans.
Yes.
I want to
like,
build. I want
dancing
goals.
and have fun. And
and I think that this is a very like men versus women outlook. Yeah, that like I had a little conclusion the other day. We were having a conversation among friends and including my husband and all, and I was like, that's what it is. It's that for men, being comfortable or being good is good enough, and women, like, yeah, good and comfortable is great, but I like my ultimate goal in life, in a relationship, in any, is to be happy.
And I would tell Omar this all the time.
And being good doesn't make me happy.
A mí que me sirve tener the freaking a mansion if you're like gone or like working all the time and I don't see you and I'm just like locked in a room.
That's not happiness.
Cinderella in the tower. That's not Cinderella. Is it Cinderella?
No.
Snow White? Who's in the tower?
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Fiona, Tangled. There's a lot of towers.
If you're locked in a tower, just chilling with the Ferrari outside, but like for what? Like if you're not enjoying it with your partner, like some things are more important than the materialistic stuff.
And I think for men, sometimes that's difficult to see. They're like, why are you still nagging?
But
why are you
is it
still talking?
machista Mexican men or is it?
I don't know. That's a good question for the audience.
Shout out
What's
to
your
our one
experience?
listener in Italy. Let us know what it
looks like over there overseas. Another topic that we noted down, something that again I was trying, obviously this isn't for everyone, but I was trying to come up with topics that were as generalized as possible in again like a traditional male versus female situation. I feel like universally most men's love language are acts of kindness or acts of service and words of affirmation. Like I think men expect to
like
be served,
or that's what they want.
No, that's what they seek. That's what they want and appreciate.
You said acts of service.
And words of affirmation.
No, I'm gonna rebuttal and say no. They want touch. Which was that one? Physical, no.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh my God, what is that one?
Is it not like? Just
like affection, like touch, like I want your hands all over me in order to feel loved.
But I feel like that's de persona en persona. Like things that are more like, I was trying to think like what's more universal that like all men expect.
You don't think that men expect you to come home, like them come home and you to be all over them?
No.
No?
No.
Yes. Fight me down.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Dame un agasajo.
That they want it every now and then, and that men like are known to be like sexual creatures or whatever. Okay, but like in general, like, but that's different. Like, there's some people like PDA, some people don't. Some people like to be touched. Some people
but I'm talking about like your man
don't.
comes home from a long day's work or whatever, or his little not long day's work, and you greet him, and you think he's not gonna be like, dame un besote?
No.
No. Okay, well,
agree to disagree. I don't think that would apply to most. Yes. But I think most men do expect you to do things for them and around the house.
Oh,
and like in different areas.
But I feel like that's not for them. That's what is expected, like period, for like the house. Not
but tell me that they don't feel a little bit butthurt if you were to like not show them any acts of service. Like, it is a universal expectation.
For me, it's legit more the touch. They would be more butthurt if you didn't, like, touch them. We're going to put this to the test. I think. Because I feel like the acts of service, they don't see acts of service.
Then it really is person per person.
Because the acts of service is like, yeah, you're supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you didn't do that for me. You did that because you're supposed to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like, but it's expected. And if it doesn't happen.
I don't think if it doesn't happen, they would notice, honestly. If I'm being dead serious, I don't think they would notice. I think maybe like 2 weeks, they'd be like, oh, wait, why is this looking a little weird? This wasn't like this before. What's happening here? I don't think they notice like that.
Omar does. I've heard Omar enough times throw a little like indirectas and shade about like there not being food around the house.
Oh, all
like
the time.
If you wouldn't
do not cook.
But if you would never do anything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like your average man expects, like same thing with Larry. Like he does. I'm not expected to cook every day.
Yeah.
But whenever he like is tired and wanted to just come home to a home cooked meal, it does hurt him. He's like. Even puts him in a bad mood. Like
HelloFresh, please sponsor us. Please. HelloFresh.
We both cry.
I'm begging you.
We could do it for free.
Serious. Just send me two meals. 2 meals a week.
That's where I was going with that because obviously the theory of love languages is that everybody has their own. There's more, salient ones, but I was just trying to think, like, if your average man, like, things that they appreciate and they expect, sticking to the gender roles.
Also the words of affirmation, I feel like that's for the women. I don't feel like that's for the men because, or maybe it is person to person. Yeah. I could tell you right now, I will go upstairs. I will tell Omar 100 things of what's my favorite thing about him, and I love him so much, and how he's the best person on the planet.
But I think they're more like they want to be told that you're like proud of them. They want to be told that they're good at certain things.
He could care less. He does not give a crap. But if I don't like kiss him for a week, that's gonna be a problem.
Well, yeah, but that's like extreme.
Maybe it's the words of affirmation for stuff that they're good at. Like, if he's doing something in a car and it because he's like a car guy and it looks amazing or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, you did an amazing. He doesn't do paint jobs, but you did an amazing paint job.
Then he would be off the rails.
Listen, it was a fun one. Yeah. Okay. Well, Happy New Year. You guys,
is there anything
I know
else?
we covered a lot of stuff. We weren't trying to talk smack. I think
it ended up being like really
PG.
I think maybe in case we don't like what we were just talking about, because it might feel a little off.
No.
I wanted to maybe close. I thought maybe we could close off with bringing back a shout out about the conversation that we had in our group chat. And we asked them, right, like to send us topics. And I thought it was funny that some of our friends were concerned about the women not taking their gender roles serious and what's going to happen in Navidad 2042 when the tias that are in charge don't know how to make tamales because they never took their role serious.
You guys, we need to start learning because at this point, it's just to like save the culture. I mean, honestly.
Honestly.
Yo ahorita no te sé hacer un tamal, like...
No. Like, do not look at me.
Absolutely not. Like, it is not happening, and I have sat
I don't know. I will say, though, I don't know, and I refuse to know how to make menudo. Ugh. You will never catch me making menudo. Pozole, yes. I don't know how to do it, as it is my plan.
But, like, you want to learn.
I want to learn. I don't care to learn how to make menudo because I don't eat that. And I'm not going to be cleaning all of that. And
ladies,
that tradition can die with me.
No, tampoco. One of us
no,
has to
la
learn.
realidad es que alguien va a saber.
Kiara.
That's my hope.
Kiara, if you're watching this, it's your responsibility to learn how to make it because I'm not learning either. I hate it. It's disgusting. I'm sure one of my friends or something.
We're gonna get canceled like Yaritza or Yaritza, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Because, okay, real quick, like hot topic here.
Okay.
Because we both, I think we agreed, or maybe we disagree. I don't remember, but we talked about this. But that's just so extreme how they got canceled for saying that they don't like certain Mexican food.
Yes and no.
And for saying that they only want to eat like one of them said they only eat chicken. Shout out RJ, everywhere we go. He asks for chicken tenders.
Bro. A grown ass 30
Mexican
21-year-old man ordering chicken tendies everywhere. And I'm like, you're gonna get canceled, dude. And like you said, como si sus chiquillos no fueran chicken nuggets everywhere you went.
Like y'all swear that your kids aren't super picky about what they eat and they don't eat. Ay, mis niños nomás comen pizza, nomás comen nuggets, nomás. That doesn't mean that you don't love Mexico. I don't like menudo. You're not gonna make me say I like menudo and that's the only reason I'm gonna be a good Mexican.
It was the fact that they were like adding other little things on there, like
that they were trying
that they
to twist it.
And well, really no, that they were like, oh, I don't like the noises of diggity dug. Get that. I don't know how to say. No, that she was like, they're what? They're great. I don't like the noises of Mexico City, and like it's too loud. And like, oh.
Es que hay unas cosas que uno no debe decir porque la verdad, Mexican people, what's the word?
Delicados?
Yeah, so we are. And honestly, sometimes a little bit fake about our own things. Like, you can straight up not like something, but there's just things that you just don't say.
Yeah, you're gonna shut up about it.
Like there's some things that you shouldn't say, but with regard to the food.
Yeah,
I feel like
that got a little crazy for them, and I feel really, honestly, kind of sad for them because they're so young. Sad.
And I love her music.
Oh my god,
they have so many cute songs.
Pero she just kept on making it worse, and also like, don't tell me not to speak English, and like things like that. Where are these people's like marketing, like PR teams?
Where's our PR team?
Can someone please,
if any of you are starting PR, like come through. You can practice with us. We need a lot of help.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So this is the end of the year, and this is the last podcast of. Is it?
Of the year, probably. We just want to close out by saying we love men. We love our men.
We love men. We love our men.
And this is why we have really honest conversations with them.
Yeah. And at some point, they're going to come on and tell us how they hate us. But
we still love them. Clearly, we're toxic.
Oh my god, we're going to get canceled. Happy New Year, guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you in the next year.
I hate that.
In the new year is what I was gonna say.
See you next year, bitch.
I hate that when they're saying it like, Whatever.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.